Welcome back everyone, my name is Eltimar and we're going to be continuing our Let's Play of Wrath of the Righteous. Where we left off last time, we were in the cemetery and we are now going to go help some townsfolk. Somebody help me.
Call me again if you need to.
The half-rotted corpse of a woman shambles out of the crypt. She leers at you with her empty eye sockets and croaks out a few words. Thank the gods, and thank you too. I knew this was going to happen. Someday, they buried me alive. I hate to break it to you, but you're actually dead. How dare you? What utter foolishness. Do I look like a corpse to you? No, 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 you forget yourself. You should be ashamed to say such things to, The dead baroness wags her finger at you in a chastising manner, but cuts herself short, staring at her own hand in horror. What? How? This simply cannot be. I shan't permit it. I'm afraid it's true. I'm truly sorry. This graveyard was desecrated by a necromancer. It seems that he disturbed your rest as well. The dead woman covers her face with what remains of her decaying hands. So I died. But even in death, the accursed servants of the abyss torment me? Can nothing be done? Perhaps you could lay me to rest. I quite enjoyed my life in this world, but now there is no place for me here. Not in this miserable form. How did you awaken? Do you remember anything? Allow me to think for a moment. Seems like it, yes. Indeed, when I awoke, I heard a voice. They were reciting poetry, or a prayer. Perhaps those were spells then. It must have been your thrice-damned necromancer. Would you like to pass along any words of comfort to your friends or family while you're here? That good-for-nothing band of hangers-on? Most certainly not, thank you very much. I am reasonably confident they've already brought my estate to ruin and squandered the fortune I bequeathed to them. They'll have to do without my missives. Spare us both that indignity and embarrassment. You see, I would still be in the company of those I truly care for, were it not for your discourteous sorcerer and his parlor tricks. Rest in peace. Thank you. Do feel free to take my burial jewelry. Those pieces are dreadfully out of fashion where I'm going anyways. We got a golden chain with diamonds, and Soziel used cure wounds to kill her. There's a loot here. How do I get to that? Mobility check over on this side. Shouldn't be too hard for our
I am finished.
monk, which it wasn't. And a bunch of loot. And then back over to the other side.
It is done. Let us be off.
Got some experience for doing that. Not too bad. We are nowhere close to level 7 though, unfortunately. Let's go murder some more enemies. There's a couple like lesser zombie lords around. Not too concerned about them in terms of getting buffs out, but there are going to be some rougher fights coming up a little bit further in the distance. And some with some nasty archers, as I recall.
Begone, fiend! And another obstacle.
Oh, here comes a bunch of guys.
Forwards.
Oh, this is so many people. Okay, this could be interesting. Now, let's get our bard song on. Why are you guys not attacking at all? There we go. Might need Soziel to blast out some healing.
I can still fight.
No, Soziel, you can't. You're down. Oh, you're 1-hit-1. You're probably gonna die. Yep, sure is. Let's quickly load that. Sorry about that. Just had a quick cough I had to get rid of, and now we'll try that one more time. Maybe we do need a couple buffs. Get some shield going. We'll get our mutagen for strength. He can get his mutagen. Oh, we don't need that yet. We can get blur.
My will is resolute.
And we have bless on, so that doesn't matter too much. Sela needs her strength buff. Alright, that should be good enough for now, I think. Let's get actually one more quick blur on you. Not you. You. Alright, good enough. Go.
No time for debates.
Done. Now, next one. Save really quickly.
We will be victorious.
Did you see that?
Oh, Lan, you are not in a good position.
I'll hit you.
Go help him. Took a sweet time attacking.
I can still fight.
Seal it down, that's fine.
I failed you. This was
Lands down, but everyone's gonna survive this fight, I think. Which is all that we can really ask for.
You won't stop us.
Seems to have very slow attacks. Does she have Flurry of Blows on? I thought she had Flurry of Blows with the staff. Because of her class. Let's put that on to start with. Fight defensively, Inspire Rage, Crane Style. Style Trip. We don't have Power Attack on. Not that we could, I suppose. And alright, I guess. Yeah, we'll figure it out in a bit. She does have some weird aura on her at the moment, but that's okay. Okay, so let's continue on with our murdering. This next fight, I believe, is quite hard. You might want to quickly heal up.
We'll make things right.
Search for the beauty with your heart, not
This healing is so inferior to Darren's. We might actually need to rest before some of the later fights, but let's just go and see what happens.
yet another obstacle.
This is the tough fight. It's very annoying because of the champion archers.
Am I doing it wrong? Am I doing it wrong?
Can't go between the two of them? Alright, let's try that.
Redemption.
She got taken down almost instantly by the arrows, and I think we're gonna die here. Maybe not, though.
I failed you.
Oh yeah, we are. They are laying waste to our group.
Just sit here.
Okay, let's quickly
Don't
reload
worry
that.
about me.
I think the best plan might be to charge at the archers. I guess?
Let
I don't
us
really have
be
much more in the way of buffs I can
Anything
do.
new?
Let's take a quick look, though. I mean, we have a few. We have some, we have haste to start with. Let's do that. And then we can also
Search for the
probably
beauty with your
do...
heart, not your
My
eyes.
mouse so jumpy. Weird.
Always be ready for the worst.
We will win this war.
Mirror image.
I stand ready.
This war must end.
And what do you have kicking around for spells? Nothing really, except for mage armor, which could be useful. Okay, let's go.
Surrender! I won't let you hurt my friends.
He's gonna go after that.
Into
Everyone
the
else is going after this guy. One dead, next one. Come on, hit it. There we go, next one. Keep going after them. No big deal, I think we got this covered now.
Strike with all your might.
They hit so hard, sometimes. Haste solves everything, though. Haste is like the best spell in the entire game. And we're just gonna grab all the loot, including a longbow +1, which I don't think anyone in our group needs. We can just take a look.
Follow
Now there is
me.
one more really annoying fight we have to do. And it's going to be against the Necromancer himself. And unfortunately, it does not put us in a very good position to do the encounter. We are going to have to rest prior to the fight, probably. I'm guessing because we may die if we don't. We need all the spell... Really? Okay, never mind then. We are just going in live. We still have some of our spells up and running. Let's get some...
Sud is restless.
Nah, mage armor
I
won't help
wonder
anyone.
why. Are we ready to move out?
We do have one more haste, which will help. Give him... Oh, he's already up there. That might keep him alive for a couple seconds.
Together we stand.
We're gonna use
Trust
that
in
when we get in there. We don't have any
The world has
healing
suffered
rays.
enough.
We can use protection from evil communal. That might help, I suppose. And
No reason to pause.
mirror image. All right, let's go in and for the best. We quick saved anyways. Don't you dare get away from them, he says, running off to being in. Just, he's so stupid.
Onwards.
All right, this is where we have a rough fight. There's a couple skeletons at the end there, and there's some right here fighting him. I'll read what he says after.
We will be victorious.
right before we do the fight. He says, "Who are you? What do you want? All you have to do is die in the name of Baphomet. Have faith. You can do it. We got some experience for wandering in here, but this is going to suck a lot." Off to a wonderful start. Alright. She's gonna try and heal. Sweet, it worked. There are skeleton archer champions at the back, which is really unfortunate, but there's nothing we can do about that. Come on. Okay. How do we want to do this? At least Soziel didn't die. He's technically alive.
We can
Go.
do it.
We get those. Oh, the Necromancer just dropped dead instantly. It's like he was throwing himself at the ground. What a wuss. That wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. I surrender. Stop. I give up. Don't hit me. The young man in black robes throws up his hands in a dramatic gesture. You damned rat. How dare you? Suddenly, Soziel becomes a totally different person. The artist's delicate hands clench into fists, while his voice comes out as a menacing roar. He leaps to the Necromancer and breaks his nose with a single blow. You scumbag, I remember you. You came to our temple begging for healing just a month ago. We fed you, we shared our table with you, and we took you in. Then I don't even know what I'm going to do to you. Hit him again. Stop it. I surrender. Soziel ignores the Necromancer's cries of pain, punching him right in the teeth. The Necromancer spits blood, but continues, fighting past the wild blows to his increasingly bruised and busted face. You're a priest of Shaylin. I've surrendered, so you have to spare my life. Your goddess demands it. Is he telling the truth? Your religion doesn't allow you to kill him? Yes, the Eternal Rose is known for her grace. She teaches us to show mercy to anyone who asks for it. It's one thing to slay an enemy in battle, but a captive? You must try to save their soul, to show them the beauty of the world, persuade them to abandon the path of evil. It's difficult, but the world is better for it. I'm just repeating your own sermons back to you. Come on, Soziel. Try to make me repent of my sins. Perhaps your kind words will make me abandon Baphomet's teachings, run to Shaylin for redemption, and start knitting some masterpieces of my own. The cultist smirks impudently. Stop, Soziel. It's not worth breaking your goddess's vow because of filth like him. Soziel looks at the battered Necromancer's face, then at his bloody hands in disgust. He slowly lowers and unclenches his fists. Thank you for stopping me. I almost broke my vows because of this. I had absolutely no idea there was so much rage in me. It's a shame. A disgrace, but I must admit that I enjoyed beating him. Forgive me for letting you see me like that. It should never have happened. Soziel wipes the Necromancer's blood off his knuckles and steps away from him. You are the commander, and he is your captive. It is up to you to decide his fate. I surrender. Here, take everything I've got. Just don't kill me. The cultist turns out his pockets. Then I condemn him to death. His sentence will be carried out immediately. No, please, listen. You silence the Necromancer forever with a single well-aimed blow. Soziel bows his head. May the goddess forgive him, for I will not. He looks at you. Thank you for taking this sin upon yourself. Yeah, no problem. Soziel examines the devastated graveyard, then diverts his attention to the terrified townspeople. It's alright, you're safe now. We should bury the bodies again. This is a place of peace, and we must not leave it desecrated like this. The townsfolk are clearly terrified of even looking at the fallen undead, but Soziel's soft words reassure them. As they work together, the graveyard soon regains its tranquil appearance. After a prayer, Soziel bows his head before the graves of his friends for the final time. May the Eternal Rose grant them peace at last. Let's be on our way. We have many more innocents to protect from the horrors of this war. Now, we can actually go back here, I think, and loot this place. There was a thing in the beta where the loot from this place would just vanish afterwards. Let's see if they fixed it. No, definitely still bodies here to loot. Excellent. And we're going to go all these masterwork scimitars. Then we're going to head back to our camp. There is one more thing I want to do there today, and then we'll call it a video. The Necromancer has a light crossbow and a scroll. He gave us all of his loot, such as it was, prior to our executing him, which he definitely deserved. We can actually leave the area through this side here. I think that's it for this area. Yeah, looks to be it. Let's quickly check the loot table to make sure there's nothing we really missed, and it doesn't look like there's anything of value we missed, so. Normal armor and shields are not really worth carting around, to be honest. Let's move our army. It does have full movement again because we had to rest in the no, we couldn't rest, so it does only have 10 movement left. We could attack this. Oh, we already did attack that. I guess we'll just stay here then for now. Can move up towards this demon army. It's only a handful of trash mobs. And that's the end of our movement for our army. Good enough then. Back to the camp, which is actually way up here now, which is kind of annoying in its own right. We could go back to Canabris, but it doesn't really do much for us. We could do the Hound Heart website, but we're not going to. Magical anomalies are common in the world of Golarion, so common that the use of the word anomaly itself is questionable. A regular city dweller will encounter a chaotic manifestation of supernatural power at least once in their lifetime. One might naturally assume that the strange sky, the ghostly fire from rifts in the ground, the rain of eyeballs, all that the world wound is known for should find some purchase in the mortal mind. But even the most worldly of travelers feels uneasy at its borders. Why? Perhaps instinctively they understand that this place is not merely a magical wasteland but a wound, an ulcer, through which the world itself bleeds into the abyss. The commander and her army walk up the high bank of the West Selen River, where it draws near the border of the world wound. The soldiers' feet halt unbidden. On the other bank rises a series of cliffs too regular in shape to have been formed by wind or water. The sky hangs over their sharp edges and sickening bends. The shade of Mercury on the horizon rising to dirty rust. As it arches above the soldier's head, it regains a familiar azure hue. The soldiers whisper and grumble. The commander feels eyes upon her back. Somewhere among them, wearing simple armor and unrecognized by anyone, the ruler of Mendev is standing and watching the new commander closely. The commander gives a signal to wait and climbs to the highest point along the bank. There she decides to... We can diplomacy or athletics. We're going to diplomacy. Address the soldiers and boost their morale. Establishing rapport with her troops is yet another battle that the leader must face. Through the subtle alchemy of words, one can win trust and raise morale, or lose face and authority. Addressing the army on the border of the world wound, the commander seeks to establish herself as a military leader on this new battleground. And her efforts prove fruitful. The soldiers listen dutifully, smiles appearing on their face. Someone in the ranks jokes that the demons are growing tired of waiting for them. The army keeps moving. Lines of soldiers step warily beneath the shroud of low black clouds. It's like the whirlwind has reached out a finger into the lands of Mendev. The gesture seems eerily harmless, but then the clouds come to life, shooting out howling tornadoes one after another. The tornadoes come from all sides, from ahead, from behind, and right above the soldiers' heads. The power of the elements on one side of the scales, the soldiers' faith and inspiration on the other. It's plain to see which is greater. The determined army runs the gauntlets of tornadoes. The struggle lasts over half an hour, but the army's losses are a few bags of supplies and a dozen hats whipped off into the sky. After stopping to catch their breath, the soldiers continue on. Their first encounter with the world wound has ended in their favor. Well, that's nice of us to do. We're not going to go to the campsite yet. We're just going to go all the way up here to the actual place we want to go. I really shouldn't have advanced the camp so far ahead. We have so many things to do. Hope this isn't an enemy. Oh no. This is a rough encounter. We actually need to rest before it. This is a brutal encounter, unless they toned it down since the beta. I remember this being
alone, Nenio.
Quite a thing. Let's see if we can get it done quickly, and then we'll continue on to the camp. After packing up his belongings after the night camping, Soziel finds a place to sit and then pulls out a travel sketchbook and charcoal pencil. Stealing glances in your direction, he draws on the small page with bold, sprawling strokes, his expression shifting between smiling and frowning. May I see? The cleric lowers his eyes in embarrassment. There's nothing to look at yet. This isn't even a draft, more a series of random sketches. The slope of your neck, the curve of your lips, your gestures, it's not much to look at, but it will be useful if I start to work on a real portrait. Are you going to paint my portrait? Yes, but not just yours. I try everything I see. Our companions, our soldiers, sometimes even our enemies, the places we visit, my dreams, my thoughts, every aspect of this crazy war. I want to capture everything that happens here, both the beautiful and the nightmarish. A portrait? How romantic. Would you like me to pose for you in private sometime? Soziel looks away embarrassed. I enjoy your attention, and I would be pleased if you would pose for me, but I hope you'll understand that this is art and nothing more. I'm sorry, but my romantic interests lie elsewhere. Well, I won't bother you anymore. Oh, Soziel. Okay. This is gonna suck. Let's get buffed up ahead of time. Alright, let's start hammering out some buffs and
Are
some
we in trouble yet?
mutagens.
I
And that buff.
You require my unbiased opinion?
And blur.
The goddess
And
protects us.
I'll
Okay.
make my own legend.
don't really need bark skin at the moment, but I guess it doesn't hurt. Oops, not what I meant to hit. We're not giving him a... I don't even know what I want to give him for a mythic ability at the moment. We will use protection from evil, but not quite yet. We have more spells to cast on more people.
Rely on me.
What do you have for spells? I can't remember what I even gave you at this point. Did your mirror image work? It did. Good. Blur yourself. Try to anyways. Nope, didn't work. Because of arcane spell failure, which is fine. Alright,
Is the
that's
heart's
fine.
greatest challenge.
I don't think there's anything I want to cast with her. I guess we could enlarge our character.
I tire of waiting. We should
What's her
move.
armor class now? 34. Hopefully that'll be enough. And we'll bless as soon as the inevitable fight
Search for the
kicks
beauty
off.
with your heart, not your eyes.
This is going to be brutal. Alright, let's do it. Through the mist, you spot the flickering flames of a campfire. 3 figures wrapped in crusader cloaks are huddled next to it. A stout, smiling dwarf, a brash, dark-haired halfling, and a delicate-looking woman who appears to be very young. The crackling campfire is driving away the bleak fog and promising warmth and rest for tired legs. Noticing you, the halfling's hand jerks towards his weapon, then he relaxes. Hey, it's the commander herself. Don't just stand there. Have a seat by the fire. It's a bit damp today. You might as well dry yourself off at least. In an amicable gesture, he passes you a large mug that smells of freshly brewed tea. Who are you? Front line scouting party. Our senior sent us ahead to look for ambushes. We've been walking all day, so we're making a bivouac. Or bivouac? Whatever. Go ahead, help yourself to some tea. It's an honor to be sharing a campfire with the commander. Something in the way the halfling speaks sounds off. Senior instead of commanding officer. Bivouac instead of the more casual camp. Perhaps he's just a new recruit. A broad smile blossoms on Sila's face. I never thought we'd run into such a jovial company out here. I don't suppose you guys have anything stronger than tea in your canteens. Catching the halfling's conspiratorial look, she smiles even brighter. What are your names? Proudly lifting his chin, which bears a white scar, the halfling says, I'm Sergeant Velm, the leader of this gang of daredevils. You can tell by Velm's appearance that he's a fighter. He sports a nose that's been broken more than once, well-fitted gear, and a gutsy spark in his eyes, all the hallmarks of a feisty, courageous warrior. The dwarf Brenson grins. Why would you call our heroic gang a squad a gang, Velm? I'm Tran, foot soldier, cook, quartermaster, and mother hen of this lot, and the one who sets up the tent for Asti, given that she doesn't have the muscle to drive a stake into the ground. With a smirk, Tran glances at the woman, who immediately turns red in the face. The sweet and terribly young cleric opens her mouth to say something, but shuts it immediately and blushes even more. Finally, she mutters sheepishly, I'm Asti, at your service, Commander. Look around the camp to make sure this place is safe. The location of the camp was chosen wisely. It's safe and quiet here, no tracks in sight, the air is calm, but an odd feeling of wrongness lances through you like a sting from an angry wasp. Something isn't right. It's quiet here, alright, as the grave. I don't know why, but I don't like the feel of this place. It makes my scales stand on end. Something's not right. Attack. Smirking brazenly, the halfling licks his lips with surprisingly long, pustule-covered red tongue. Huh. Would you look at that? She didn't buy it. Enough of this masquerade, then. Everyone, no more games. The figures by the fire ripple and transform. 3 gray-haired and dark-skinned elves watch you with mocking sneers. Their twisted, grimacing faces look demonic. From the haze, more previously unseen shadows materialize. They're all just as loathsome and unsettling. The campfire emits a sickly, sweet, intoxicating smell. And in the squat kettle, you see some slimy mushrooms swimming in a disgusting, boiling slurry. Who are you? The one who was pretending to be the halfling Velm makes a face mimicking you in an obnoxious voice. Who are you? We are servants of Lord Discari, and you are the pitiful insect that got caught in our web. An elf who is masquerading as the cleric Asti gives you a lecherous smile, enthusiastically dragging her tongue along the blade of her dagger. Did you like sweet little Asti? Did you want to play with her in your tent? You monsters! Sela looks at those who appeared to be trusted allies just a moment ago with open disgust. How did I not see you for what you are right from the start? You dumb paladin. Do you think your ability to sense evil can't be fooled? Lady Enamora taught us long ago how to hide, or how to trick the likes of you. What was the point of this charade? Lady Enamora desires your head, and we will gladly deliver it. The elf whose voice as Tran was so convincing lets out a repulsive snicker. You think I'm at your mercy? We'll see who the real prey is. I love it when prey tries to fight back.
Cannot be defeated.
Now, this is going to suck. There's so many enemies here. Haste is on. Alright, we need to start, I don't know, doing something. Let's move you over here. Prayer. One's dead. Oh, we just killed a whole bunch of them. Okay, cool. That actually helped out quite a lot. Let's kill Asti. Let's do some focus fire and kill the Magus. And the other Magus. This is actually not so bad. This is going just fine. That Scorching Ray was terribly placed. Oh, someone's down here killing Ember. Or no, Ember is just getting shot by a archer or something. And there's a couple more that appeared, but they're dead. Alright, that wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. Masterwork crossbow, garbage rapier, some oh no, they're normal daggers. I assumed that a drowned knife master would have at least masterwork daggers, but apparently I was incorrect on that assumption. I think there's loot down here as well, if I'm not mistaken, over here somewhere. We'll come back to the main camp in a sec. No, that's the way out. There we go. I knew there's something down here somewhere. Hand or heavy mace, some gems and stuff. And we'll just go over here really quickly and loot the bodies of this squad, including Asti and all them. Masterwork, nothing, 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 nothing. Velm, did you have anything useful? No. Drow Magus, though, had a good bow. 2 of them, actually. And we'll loot the rest of the camp. Why not? If you don't catch them at their game, you can still attack them. But you also could end up just sitting there and drinking their poisonish stuff. It lowers your stats, I think, or something along those lines. Anyways, we are free and clear, and I guess this is actually going to be where we end off our video. We'll go to the camp thing in the next one. For now, I'll leave you guys here. Like always, if you have any suggestions or comments, please leave them below. Otherwise, I'll see you all next time.